other of the knife. Hello, welcome to Hello, my name is LaShonda. If this is your first time joining my channel, thank you humbly for coming and stopping by. If you are a repeat visitor, I humbly thank you as well. Because here's the thing, you guys could be doing anything, you could be anywhere in this entire world and United States, but you have chosen to be in this space. So I thank you for spending time with me. I am so excited to be able to launch this. I've been wanting to do it for quite some time, but just didn't have the, I don't know. I was going through some things in terms of, do I want to share? Do I not want to share? Do I feel good enough in my body to show up? And I had some challenging days. So I'm in a space and time where I feel good enough, not 1000%, but enough to be able to join you in this space in this way. So thank you for being here. Let's begin. So I think the last thing we left off was I was going to do a story time about my double jaw surgery. And I'm 3 years post-op, and I know many of you are saying to yourself at home, why are you still recovering 3 years later after having surgery? Well, when you have it a little later in life, like I did, typically people have this type of surgery when they're in their 20s. And without revealing my age, I am not in my 20s. So I fell into a situation that I still can't fully put my finger on. But I believe that the Lord chooses us for certain things, for a reason, for a season, for a lifetime. And this is something that I'm having to deal with for the rest of my life. So with that being said, I feel a responsibility at this point to share, to impart. So 3 years. How do we get here? Well, it was the year 2020. I was preparing for Free to Love, a single that I released. I was on a photo shoot. Things were great. I felt good. I was sounding good. I was collaborating with R&B artists. We were writing songs together. It was just a really fun time. I was singing with a gospel artist. Fun time. Pandemic happens, and right before the pandemic happened, I decided that I wanted to have braces again, or orthodontic treatment again. And I say again because, you get a little older and you're like, just fine tune this here and just fine tune that there. I didn't need it. If you look back at some of my old pictures, I didn't really need it. I was just really being LaShonda, nitpicky. So my daughter and I, she gave me permission to share, we decided we were going to have orthodontic treatment together. So she's in hers, I'm in my orthodontia treatment of choice. And I go through the first year, I'm fine. Everything is doing what it needs to do. The gap that I was concerned with has closed up. I'm nearing the end of my treatment, and I was experiencing this pressure in my nasal cavity area and the back of my throat. It literally felt like somebody had pushed this portion of my face inward into my facial cavity. Almost like it just pushed things out of position where they were supposed to be. I think another way to describe it was, it felt like someone went behind the tissue and the muscle and was rearranging the bones in my face, in my jaw. Very uncomfortable feeling. I experienced a pain level that I had never experienced before, and I gave birth to a human, so that level of pain I'm used to, but this was different. This didn't have a beginning and an end. This was debilitating. This was keeping me up at night. This was impacting my lifestyle. I'm a singer, so anyone that knows, when you sing, you have to belt out notes, and you're opening your mouth, wide, to be able to capture the vocalizations that you need to get a strong recording. And I started to struggle. I would be in studio sessions, and I was struggling. And fast forward, I'm at the end of my treatment. I mentioned this to the professionals, like, hey, what in the world is going on? Maybe you have a deviated septum, or maybe you're just dealing with sinus issues. And I was like, sinus issues where your nose feels like somebody is literally pushed in your nose in a way that just, it's an indescribable pain, because it's a lot of pressure. And at some point, it's starting to impact the masseter muscles. It started to impact under my eyes. I'm feeling pressure in my eyes. All of those things are starting to be impacted. So I go into the retention phase, and I can't wear the retainer because it hurts too bad. So months go by at this point, and I've recorded, I've done all these things, but I've struggled doing it, right? I wake up one morning and I felt like I could not breathe. Like I was literally gasping for air. I felt my airway feeling like it was narrowing and I couldn't breathe. That scared me. So I immediately started to make phone calls, do research, try to find professionals that could help me in that regard. Like, do I need to go back to another orthodontist? What type of orthodontist is going to help support something like this? Like, it's impacting my ability to breathe. If anybody knows me, you know that I'm the type of person, I am going to do my research, and I am only going to associate myself with the best. So I found an orthodontist who specialized in obstructed airway, top 5 in the city of Houston. I was like, I'm not playing around with this. So I went to him. He knew exactly what was going on with me and assured me I can fix it. And that's what you want to hear. When you're going through something like that, that's all you want to hear, right? So I go through sleep apnea test, and I have sleep apnea. So I'm like, oh, could that be why I'm having trouble breathing? So I get as y'all say, the Darth Vader mask. But the problem with that is, good fix, temporary, because you only can wear that at night. That doesn't help during the day. And I still have problems during the day. I would have to like raise my neck up to breathe. And so just wasn't a normal thing to have to do when you didn't have to do it before. Like I said, it felt like somebody was going behind my skin and just going to town. I was like, listen, I need to be able to breathe. What can you do? I'm in braces again, fast forward, but I can't breathe. So he created this, it's called a BIP, that it's a composite, like this epoxy composite that they create, and they put it behind the 2 front teeth, and that instantly gave me the ability to open up that airway and get that air in that I wasn't getting before. So did that. I fixed the sandwich one day and I swallowed it. I swallowed the bit, and I'm sitting there like, what? LaShonda, you need that. You need that. So I called him. I said, listen, this is what happened. He said, don't worry, come on in. We'll recreate something else for you. So I ended up having to recreate another one and put metal in it, and that did the trick. So I'm wearing that, and stay tuned for the next video, and I'll tell you what happened next. Again, thank you for being here. It is such an honor to be able to connect with you this way. You have no idea. It warms my heart that we have a platform such as YouTube to be able to connect and converse with one another in such a wide space. I know there are people that are all over the world that are on YouTube, so it is truly an honor. I am getting ready to go to the gym. I have my gym gear, and I'm going to get on that treadmill and be on that treadmill like I've never been before. So if anyone has been watching my content, you know that I'm on this health journey. This is week 5. I'm going into week 6 of low sugar, basically eating just chicken, vegetables, fruit, soups, and things of that nature. So very healthy, organic, focused diet. And so far so good. I have a goal weight that I'm trying to get to, and so far so good. I can say with certainty that I feel like I'll get there because I'm doing something that I've never done before. If anybody knows me, your girl likes to eat. I don't miss meals, and I'm in Houston, so, but yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. Singing. I have decided that it is imperative, if I want to record professionally again, I need to work at it. Am I where I want to be? No, but I'm dedicated. I'm going to put in the work. So it's just really just getting this stronger, because this took a hit. All of this, the muscles, the fascia, and I'll go into detail about that in other videos. But I was wondering, I was like, am I gonna be able to tell this story in one video? Nah, it's a lot. Because what tends to happen is if I talk for long periods of time, I'll start to get vocal fatigued, and my jaw will start to fatigue, and I can kind of feel it happening now. So I was like, this is probably a good time to stop. If there are any things that I've discussed in this video that you have questions about that I can answer, please feel free to reach out and let me know. I know that this is a personal journey for many of you. It can be a scary journey, but I hope, my prayer is that our time together will be fruitful. You will have some insight, some real insight, an account of someone who actually went through it and survived. Because you can survive and thrive, and every situation is different. Like I said, what I went through may not be what you're gonna go through, but we can do it together. And if it's something you're considering and you just don't really know, like I know there's a lot of questions centered around which professionals to go to, who's the best, what techniques are the best. what happens post-op, what insurance is. Like, I'm probably not going to be able to be the best resource for that, but I can certainly direct you to the folks that can give you some more insight into, those types of things. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys have a blessed day, and we'll be back. Stay tuned.